guys, my name is Yatia and welcome back to Living Life with Your Favorite Nurse. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, welcome back. So today's a short video. I find myself always thinking about advice, or not necessarily advice, but I find myself always just thinking about all things nursing, which is so weird. So so a couple of things came to my mind about more advice. Does that make sense? About more advice, more things to advise new grad nurses on. So I just wrote them down, legit, just 5 things that I feel like I haven't said before in my other videos. So I was like, okay, let me just make this quick video about 5 things that came to my head that I feel that new grad nurses should know. So number 1 is actually have a crew. Have people that you can trust. Have friends. I don't know if I've said that before, but after working, I wouldn't say recently, for the past 2 years with some really great people that I can call my friends, that made my job so much easier, that made life easier as a nurse, which again, it's already difficult, was amazing. People that you can go to ask questions, people that you can be there for, that make the hard days fun, that encourage you, that know things that you don't know, because I feel like I'd be naive, or I don't know what the word is, but to say that I know everything, because I legit don't. But people that actually know more than you, because they exist, and at times you help them and at times they help you. But just having that circle that you can trust, I feel makes nursing so much better. Even when it's outside of work, having them as friends, I just feel like it's amazing. It might not be every job that you have that at, or every unit that you have people that you can trust or friends. Don't force it. Don't force it. But if you are able to make a couple friends that you do trust and rely on, I think that would be great. And it is very, very helpful in this journey we call life and nursing. So another thing I would say is adjust, schedule, fix, whatever the word is, your rotation, your shift, however it best suits you. So for example, however you want your day to go, let's say you're working in the hospital, let's say you do this at a certain time, you do this at a certain time, you document at this time. Think about actually what works for you, because you might just start as a new grad and maybe you train with someone and they show you what they do. And that's great. You can absolutely learn from them, but you may realize this is just not going to work for me, or I don't work best this way, or this just doesn't make sense, because it might not actually make sense. Although you're new, you may feel compelled to be I don't know anything, I'm going to do it the way he or she does it, whomever does it. Although literally it may not benefit you, and it actually might impede your work, and it might not just be great for you. So you can start that way. You can start however you were taught or however you feel, but don't be afraid to mix things up, change things up for however they best suit you or fit you, that actually helps your work, doesn't slow you down, doesn't confuse you, doesn't waste your time, that type of thing. So just don't feel compelled to take on the schedule. I don't know why the word's not coming to my head, but the pattern that other people do, because that pattern may not work for you. As long as you're getting your work done in your own pattern, feel comfortable and confident doing what works for you. Another thing I would say is you are your most important patient. You are important. Yes, I've probably said this in every other video, just in different words, but legit, you are your most important patient. So you need to think about, what do you need? How can you help yourself? Because again, as always, you actually need to be okay to help another person. You actually need to be physically, mentally, all okay, or at least good, somewhat. So is that do I need to sleep? Do I need to eat? Do I need to have a break? Do I need a day off? Do I need a vacation? Do I need to call in sick today? Think about those things, because sometimes you can even go to work not feeling well, maybe feeling sick or feeling depressed, and you're confused, you're tired, and you can maybe give the wrong medication. You can maybe do something that you weren't meant to do, or just make a mistake, and those mistakes can cost someone's life, can cost your license. So many things can happen. So it's not to scare you or, you know, make you feel frightened, but just to think about, you know, yourself. Those things can happen when you're wide awake too. So I'm not just saying that it's not when you don't feel well or don't feel at your best, but it can definitely contribute to those things happening when you feel that way. So it's just something to think about. So another thing I would say is there will be hard days, but for like a period, or like for a stretch, or like for a season. I don't mean like a season like spring, winter, but I mean like maybe for a time frame. And that's just to say, like, don't give up on the career, don't give up on the job. Don't give up on yourself, because some days will be bad, and then like Monday will be bad, Tuesday will be bad, Wednesday, maybe Thursday and Friday, like whatever your rotation is, they can all suck. But just know that it's for a season. You'll get through whatever you're going through. Stay strong. There's a reason you made it this far. There's a reason you're a nurse. So although like you're going through tough times, you'll be okay. For sure. For sure. And the last thing I would say is always listen to your patients. Not everything is textbook. And this one just comes from personal experience that like when I was just working in long-term care, like I found like working with the older population, like sometimes their signs and symptoms wouldn't actually show, or they just weren't like textbook cases. And like if I went off like what I remember learning or what the textbook says or said, like people could have died, only just because you kind of have to remember like a person's a person. Yes, like we learn things and we know things, and some things are standard. So also just remember that everybody's different. There was a time that one of my patients fell, and she didn't have like the classic signs of a broken hip, but the pain that she complained about was just constant, continuous. Like you could see this lady was in pain. But if I went with what the textbook says, you know, I don't think there was any shortening or any like rotation. So it's like, no, like you're okay, you're just in pain. But when she was sent to the hospital for an x-ray, looky here, it was broken. So I'm not saying like every time say like, no, the textbook's wrong. The textbook isn't necessarily wrong, but again, everybody's different. Everybody shows signs and symptoms differently. Sometimes you'll have that grade A textbook case that is exactly every symptom or every sign that this disease or this illness or whatever the person has, like they just match. And sometimes they won't. But that doesn't mean like you should just forgo maybe your intuition or what the person says. Like follow up on it, see what you can do about it. And it might be that this person actually doesn't have this illness, or this person's okay, or the person actually doesn't have a broken hip. But it's better to check, it's better to make sure, and listen to your patient as best as you can. Alright guys, so those were just some things that came to my head that I was like, I can't keep these gems, if they're gems, I don't know, to myself, that I have to tell you guys, and I hope they were helpful. Definitely share with your friends if they were helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will see you guys whenever, probably next week, hopefully. Have a blessed week and keep living life from your favorite nurse.